Hi there, I'm Miss Karen with Adopt a Class. I was going to clean up my blue volcano from when we read the story, Pete the Cat and the super cool science fair. But I started to wonder whether or not you were curious about how this volcano actually erupts. If you remember from our story, Pete and his friends had 3 ingredients that they used inside the volcano: liquid dish soap, vinegar, and baking soda. So what is it about these 3 things that makes a foamy mess? Today, we're going to do an experiment to find out. Before we do an experiment, it's important to think about all the things that we know and to make a guess on what we think is the reason why this volcano erupts. What is our best guess? An educated guess. We call our best guess the hypothesis. So in this case, we know that liquid dish soap is used to wash things and it makes bubbles, and that the vinegar and baking soda came from the kitchen. I could guess that when I mix the liquid dish soap with the vinegar, that maybe that makes the volcano erupt. Or maybe it's the mixing of the liquid dish soap and the baking soda. Or perhaps when you mix vinegar and baking soda, that's what makes our volcano erupt. In fact, it might just be all 3 things that are necessary for the volcano to erupt. Each of these is a great hypothesis. And so the next step is to decide, well, what actually is the right answer? When we do an experiment, it's important to make observations. Observations are when we use our senses and our words, our adjectives and our descriptions to share information with others about what we see or what we've learned. My observations about the liquid dish soap are: it's blue, it's clear, I can see through it, and it moves like a syrup in my cup. It's a liquid. Liquid is a great observation. We call that a state of matter. Anything that sloshes around in a cup is a liquid, like my vinegar. My vinegar doesn't have a color. It's clear, and if you were in this room, you would say it does not smell good, or maybe you might like that smell, but it has an aroma, an odor. Our last ingredient is the baking soda. What kind of observations do you have? Ways to describe the baking soda. I came up with, it's white, it's powdery, it looks like snow. It's a solid. It's hard, it doesn't slosh around in my cup. Solid is another state of matter. Now let's test our hypotheses with our experiments. The first thing I'm going to mix is my liquid dish soap with the vinegar. And we will observe what happens. Well, it's changing. It's not clear anymore. I can't see through it. But it's not making bubbles or foam. So that doesn't seem like the reason why my volcano erupts. Okay, So my next experiment, let's take some baking soda and mix it with our liquid soap. Okay, well, there's not much going on. The liquid dish soap and the baking soda are mixing, but I'm not seeing bubbles or foam from this one, so that does not look like the reason why my volcano erupted. So, my next experiment, let's mix baking soda and the vinegar. Oh my, now that is something. You see those bubbles that are forming? There is definitely something going on in this. Lots of gas bubbles being made. Well, that looks very positive, like something could have made my volcano erupt. So now let's watch what happens when we add all three together, now that we know that the vinegar and the baking soda are so important. In our story, our experimenters put in the baking soda first, and then they added the dish detergent, and last of all, they added in the vinegar. And look at that. That is more like what we saw when our volcano erupted. When the vinegar and the baking soda mix together, they form gas bubbles. And those gas bubbles then, with the soap, end up forming the foam that you see. And so you really do need all three things to make it erupt and come out of the volcano. But the magic really is in what happens between the vinegar and the baking soda. So now that we've learned that, let's actually look at that baking soda vinegar reaction a little more closely. I'm going to do one last demonstration for you. This is a very fun one. And again, you can do this at home so long as you have an adult present who can help you. I've got an empty water bottle and I've filled it with about 1 inch of vinegar. I've got a balloon with a funnel and I'm going to fill my balloon with the baking soda. And once I've got this balloon filled, I'm going to take this and attach it to the top of my bottle of vinegar. Now, holding the balloon on, I'm going to carefully add the baking soda to the container, and look at what's happening. I am actually making something new. Remember our states of matter? We had the solid, the baking soda. We have the liquid, the vinegar. Well, we've now made a gas, which is the last state of matter. Inside of this balloon is the gas that forms when you mix vinegar and baking soda together. It is a completely new thing. It's carbon dioxide. That's the gas in here. A gas which is in our atmosphere. It's also a gas that if you take your hand, put it in front of your face, and blow, that's what our bodies create and give off. When we breathe in oxygen, we exhale carbon dioxide. The same carbon dioxide that's in my balloon. I hope you enjoyed our experiment today. I hope you have a wonderful time wondering about all the things that you can do and all the things that you can explore.